Today we are discussing AWS Certified Developer Associate Certification questions and answer. Our team is working hard to keep the content up to date. If you find this video helpful, please let us know in the comment. We really appreciate if you like and subscribe to our channel. The first question is: a company is implementing an application on Amazon EC2 instances. The application needs to process incoming transactions. When the application detects a transaction that is not valid, the application must send chat message to the company's support team. To send the message, the application needs to retrieve the access token to authenticate by using the chat API. A developer needs to implement a solution to store the access token. The access token must be encrypted at rest and in transit. The access token must also be accessible from other AWS accounts. Which solution will meet these requirements with the least management overhead? Option number A. Use an AWS Systems Manager parameter store secure starting parameter that uses an AWS Key Management Service. AWS KMS AWS Managed Key to store the access token. Add a resource-based policy to the parameter to allow access from other accounts. Update the IAM role of the EC2 instances with permission to access parameter store. Retrieve the token from parameter store with the decrypt flag enabled. Use the decrypted access token to send the message to the chat. Option B. Encrypt the access token by using an AWS Key Management Service. AWS KMS Customer Managed Key store the access token in an Amazon DynamoDB table. Update the IAM role of the EC2 instances with permission to access DynamoDB and AWS KMS. Retrieve the token from DynamoDB to decrypt the token by using AWS KMS on the EC2 instances. Use the decrypted access token to send the message to the chat. Option C. Use AWS Secrets Manager with an AWS Key Management Service. AWS KMS Customer Managed Key to store the access token. Add a resource-based policy to the secret to allow access from other accounts. Update the IAM role of the EC2 instances with permission to access Secrets Manager. Retrieve the token from Secrets Manager. Use the decrypted access token to send the message to the chat. Option D. Encrypt the access token by using an AWS Key Management Service. AWS KMS AWS Managed Key. Store the access token in an Amazon S3 bucket. Add a bucket policy to the S3 bucket to allow access from other accounts. Update the IAM role of the EC2 instances with permissions to access Amazon S3 and AWS KMS. Retrieve the token from the S3 bucket. Decrypt the token by using AWS KMS on the EC2 instances. Use the decrypted access token to send the message to the chat. The correct answer is A. The next question is: a company is running Amazon EC2 instances in multiple AWS accounts. A developer needs to implement an application that collects all the lifecycle events of the EC2 instances. The application needs to store the lifecycle events in a single Amazon Simple Queue service. Amazon SQS queue in the company's main AWS accounts for further processing. Which solution will meet these requirements? Option A. Configure Amazon EC2 to deliver the EC2 instance lifecycle events from all accounts to the Amazon Event Bridge event bus of the main account. Add an event bridge rules to the event bus of the main account that matches all EC2 instance lifecycle events. Add the SQS queue as a target of the rule. Option B. Use the resource policies of the SQS queue in the main account to give each account permissions to write to that SQS queue. Add to the Amazon Event Bridge event bus of each account an event bridge rule that matches all EC2 instances. Lifecycles events. Add the SQS queue in the main account as a target of the rule. Option C. Write an AWS Lambda function that scans through all EC2 instances in the company accounts to detect EC2 instance. Lifecycle changes. Configure the Lambda function to write a notification message to the SQS queue in the main account if the function detects an EC2 instance lifecycle change. And an Amazon Event Bridge scheduled rule that invokes the Lambda function every minute. Option D. Configure the permission on the main account event bus to receive events from all accounts. Create an Amazon Event Bridge rule in each account to send all the EC2 instance lifecycle events to the main account event bus. Add an event bridge rule to the main account event bus that matches all EC2 instance lifecycle events. Set the SQS queue as a target for the rules. The correct answer is A.